Welcome to the microKAST. Welcome to the microKAST.
Welcome to episode 4 of the Korg microKAST podcast. My name is Adam Whittle, and I am back at Korg Towers today, joined by Andy Pullen.
Hello.
Luke Edwards.
Hello.
And we're going to jump straight in because we've a special guest here with us, but he can only be with us for a few minutes. But let's just jump straight in. It's Ian Bradshaw.
Hello, everybody.
He's back again.
Hello.
I'm back second time. Yeah.
Talking about some more gadgety thing. You have to call you Ian Gadget Bradshaw. So we've got Lambskin, Demigod, Gadget. I just need something for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
before you all jump in.
We'll work on the short list.
So let's just jump straight in. You're here to talk about a very special product today.
Yeah, well, this is something that you guys did a preview of at Synthfest this weekend. We were very fortunate to be given a preview version of iWavestation.
Cool.
It will be available later on in the year, but essentially it's everything that the WaveStation hardware synth was, but in true spirit of our iOS apps, it includes some enhancements, taking advantage of the interface that an iPad offers, as well as bundling it with lots of sound cards and so forth.
And you've got it here with us now. You're going to give us some
I
cheeky
do,
tunes.
yeah.
It's plugged in.
It's plugged in, ready.
So,
here we go.
Very
Let's
Let's do something that's very typical WaveStation, and well, it will take you back a few years as well.
Loving that. Welcome to the 80s podcast. I'm your host, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Get to the chopper.
Proper 80s film, man, isn't it? I love that sound. What's that called?
That is Wave Police, and I
Wave
think that was
Police,
something
yeah.
that was on the WaveStation rack. That it was the second WaveStation type product. But what I was saying earlier is that it's got all the original sounds. So you've got favourites like Ski Jam, which is
I recognise
instantly
that.
recognised
Yeah.
as WaveStation. Midnight Run as well. I do remember that
Sounds
actually
awesome,
was
doesn't it?
used on ITV as a few years ago when they had their nighttime segment. That was used as part of the intro to the post
Was it?
11 o'clock
There you
introduction.
go.
You know, and I
Claim
think
to
about
fame.
half an hour or 2 hours after that, something like that, they then switched off. That was before all night TV.
Well, they
but
played that loop for 2 hours.
They played that loop for 2 hours. No, it was like
Is that the one with the
introductory
picture of the girl with a doll when he gets to
Oh,
talk
yeah,
about
on
it?
BBC.
On BBC.
Yeah.
No, I think we're
This
talking
is
about
ITV.
something completely different.
That's another podcast.
That's another one. Yes, nothing to do with Korg whatsoever.
You know what I mean.
So have we got any more sounds we can hear?
Unfortunately, I do know what you mean. Yeah, there's that kind of thing, and also I'm not sure if I did this one. Did I do Ski Jam?
You did Ski Jam.
So Ski Jam.
That was on ITV quite late.
That was on Midnight
Girl
Run.
with the doll.
Yeah.
You got some of these lovely ambient patchy things, Vox Concrete, which is my favourite.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Close your eyes.
Geography. Skill field trip when you go to a museum.
Or
This is planet Earth.
it's like you can
Millions
imagine go to
of
like an
years ago.
aquarium or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that,
Well,
watching
I went
things
into one of
underwater.
those sensory deprivation tanks, and this was piped in the background, and I had a great time. So yeah,
Don't
let me
know what to
just
say
think.
to that, really.
Well, don't knock it until you've tried it. That's all I can say. Yeah. So as I say, yeah, it comes with a whole bunch of sounds.
Awesome.
The interface is really, really clever, actually. On the old WaveStation, you had a list of waveforms, but on this, you've got the waveforms, and you've got them graphically represented, and they're color-coded. And as the wave sequence is playing, you can see it stepping through. So it's very nice.
That's cool.
It will be available later on in this year, as I say. Initially, it's going to be an individual app, so it's not something that we're integrating into gadgets straight
right.
away.
So it's completely self.
It's a self-contained,
brilliant.
yeah.
That's good.
But it's everything that the WaveStation can do, including there's over 1,500 sounds available. Wow. Optional cards will also be available as in-app purchases. You can also plug into it a virtual keyboard. You can also use the virtual keyboard, I should say, on screen, or you can plug in via the camera kit or the plug key. a MIDI controller keyboard. The difference about using the virtual keyboard is that you've got other types of functionality. So you can set the scale type, you can set it to play chords. There's also a K-oscillator type interface where you can determine if it's playing single, dual, triple or four notes in chord configuration.
Yeah.
So it does give you lots of ways of very quickly getting your WaveStation fix.
Nice. We had it set up with the plug key at the weekend, and it seemed to be working really well. With
Is
that,
there do we know a price for it?
I haven't got a price at the moment, but my anticipated price is that it's probably going to launch at $29.99,
So it's also,
and then they hopefully will do a promotion, which is normally when we normally
it's
buy
still
it.
cheap.
so it's slightly less than the original WaveStation.
Yeah, just
a little bit
bit
less,
less.
and it's probably less than one of the cards, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
So
That's ridiculous.
it's a must-have, I think. If you,
I think it's awesome.
yeah, if you
love
owned
Remember
a
how much
WaveStation-
it was? Can you remember how much it was when it came out?
WaveStation, it was over
1991.
Yeah, it was over £1,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, there you go. £29.99.
Yeah. I remember when we launched the WaveStation. I've been here that long, unfortunately, and it was at the it was down in Olympia in London, and I remember Gary Newman came along,
Cool.
and he was absolutely pouring all over it. He was just loving the WaveStation because that was the thing. He was into synths as he is now, and this was just so different. So no doubt he'll probably hopefully pick this up as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. Amazing. Well, that's great. Thanks very much for bringing it in to show us.
Yeah, I do worry that I've said a bit of a. I've got to come along next time with something else, so I'll have to.
Yeah, you've got
see
to
if
have
I
your
can-
game every time. That's the problem.
See if
Yeah.
I can pull a couple more favours for next time.
Well, I don't
That's
know, Kamata, you can't. No, that's
Yeah.
still my favourite.
Yeah.
That's wicked.
But
So you
no.
can go make us a cup of tea now, can't you?
How'd you do that?
No, thank you, Ian. I know you're very busy, and I appreciate you taking the time to come and join in.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
It's all mine. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks
No.
for having me.
You're very welcome. Anytime.
Okay.
Right then.
Can I go now?
Off you go.
Cheers. I'll just pop this down.
Yeah.
Do I need to switch this off?
You can say bye though to everyone.
Oh, goodbye, everybody. Until next time.
So there we go. So
And
that was
best
Ian
get dressed
Bradshaw.
before you go.
Okay.
Best
That's it.
what?
Just best get dressed before you go back out there as well. Lovely.
Steady. Family podcast. So that was Ian Bradshaw though, showing us some amazing, cool features on the iWavestation. So look forward to playing with that soon. So Synthfest was a couple of weeks ago. And you
It was.
guys, went a lot. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the event,
Can
but
we be bothered?
not at all.
We missed you dearly.
I mentioned in the last podcast I've moved house amongst
Yes.
all the how busy we were last month, so I needed to spend a couple of days at home.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
Unpack those boxes.
it joined in clashed with Synthfest, but you guys were there.
We were.
Lucky enough to be there. So tell us, what was it like?
Well, you missed a good show.
I saw the pictures. It looked rammed.
It was the best show for years, to be honest.
That's
High-tech
really good.
wise. It was brilliant. Yeah.
So you had all the new products there.
We did. We had
Yeah.
the new microKAST, which people were loving.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of surprise about that actually. People, refining their love for the microKAST, which is fantastic. The Volca kick, of
Volca
course.
kit, yeah.
Yeah.
The
And-
new ARP modules
Yeah.
as well. Surprising revelation with the ARP modules, wasn't it?
Yeah, the overwhelming favourite was actually the white one.
That's cool.
Yeah, which kind of I was surprised at, but then I was kind of coming round to the idea by the end of it, actually.
Yeah,
So-
like we said this in the last podcast, didn't we? But it looks, they both look amazing. I just worry for me that the third one looks like it, the Rev 1 looks like it's aged a bit, which is fine because
Yeah.
people like that.
It's of its
style.
time, isn't it?
Yeah. We spoke about it being like a console from Ripley's ship from
Yeah,
Aliens or something.
yeah,
It's got that
yeah.
real.
Well, people were
80s
saying it's got the
70s
authentic.
vibe.
That's when it's from. So keep it authentic.
I think that's why they love it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And also for people of that generation who kind of grew up with the Odyssey, and that's the
Yeah,
first one they
exactly.
saw. That's the nostalgia side of it, isn't it? So
It was also quite amazing to see that for a lot of people the ARP can be quite a scary instrument, can't it? But
me
because of-
included.
yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah, without the explanations, it can be tough to use. But actually, the people there were walking straight up to it, getting straight involved,
they were
and,
all over
That's
it, weren't
right.
They were
That's
loving
brilliant.
it.
That's great.
and throughout the day, the amount of different tones that we kept looking at each other across the room, and saying, "What? How's that happened?" It's just fascinating. It's really good, really, really positive.
Cool.
Yeah,
So that's Synthfest.
And Andy, you met someone quite interesting as well, didn't you?
I did. Well, a bit interesting to me. I'm not sure how interesting it is to everyone else, but one of the sound designers for Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh,
In
that's
fact, San
amazing.
Andreas as well. But
Right. Cool.
essentially, he was the guy that does all the engine noises for the game. So
Cool.
Amazing.
yeah, he was talking me through what he did, like going down to a racetrack and recording an aerial atom. And
So do they? And it's going to sound a really stupid question now, but do they actually obviously record the cars? And the reason why I asked before you'll jump in and say, of course they record the car, is that when they did Lion King, unknown fact, that when they recorded the lions roar, the lions weren't threatening enough. So they actually had a guy shouting into a can
Really?
to
didn't know
create to create the roar noise. So I'm just wondering, is it actually that they go to each individual car and
no, they just got different sized cans and just went on each. No, like,
you know what I mean? Because obviously in GTA they're not real cars. They're just
not.
loosely based. No, well they can't, can they?
they're loosely
Licenses,
based, aren't they? But they went down to an airstrip. An aerial atom was the one that he told me about. But
Right.
they close mic'd it using DPA mics, if you're familiar with those. So these tiny little professional recording mics
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the exhaust, on the engine. They then took certain rev dynamics, if you like, but to reinforce it and thicken it up, he was saying he actually was using synthesizers to do that, which is
There you go.
bizarre. And he was the proud. There we go. Listen to that.
Ian's left his wave
Wavestation
so
testing, yeah.
I'm going to just play a few more sounds.
It wasn't a wave station they used, by the way.
But that, by the way, that meeting that guy probably didn't interest you though, did it? Because you don't like GTA.
I mean, I'm not really into games, but
Yeah,
it's
Every
fine.
day, right? No word of a lie. Every single day, bing goes my phone. You got GTA yet? You got GTA yet? We need to get on it.
The problem with this conversation is I can't say what you say back to me, though, can I? Because it's, you know,
No.
It's censored.
it's
Because
censored.
It's a family show.
We could bleep it out.
We could bleep it out.
a
but
family
no,
game.
you know, each to their own.
You know,
I need to get on it.
escapism. It's escapism. It's good. Good fun.
It's the ultimate escapism.
No, it is. Great game.
Yeah.
Great game. Played it, sold it. Don't carry it anymore.
Don't carry it.
No, so Andy's still on it every night.
If only. If only I
Well,
could.
every other night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, so Synthfest. Yeah, any other exciting revelations at Synthfest?
I also met Matt Berry,
Okay.
who's a good friend of us at
Mhm.
Korg. He's an MS-20 user.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know who he is, he's the guy most famous for his appearance in the IT Crowd. He's the boss in that. Oh, you got a phone call?
No, you're all right. Crack on.
He's a very funny guy, but he's really into his synths. So his main request from the show was you need to remake the ARP 2600,
Mm.
which
Right.
I'd concur with. So
Yes.
let's see
There
if
you
that
go.
happens.
He reinforced that point several times,
He
didn't
did,
he?
yeah.
He
So
really
there we go.
must-
when he was leaving, by the way, you have to do that. Yeah.
So there you go. So Luke, do you want to just maybe say out there so they can maybe be listening into the podcast?
ARP, if you're listening to this, please reissue the ARP 2600.
There you go. So now if it happens, it's all because of
Matt Berry.
and
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
on the
absolutely.
microKAST Korg award-winning #1 podcast.
Yeah, but don't forget, unofficial, so this is not an official announcement of it coming or anything.
yeah, that,
Yeah.
Just our wishes.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. So, yeah, Synthfest. So, yeah, I'm sure there'll be another one. It was very well attended, so I've no doubt there'll be another one. And I've no doubt we'll be there with new products and
Yeah, and
new
you might
things.
turn up next
and
year, actually, you never know.
I might do.
Yeah.
I might do. When Andy finds the headphones that we've lost.
I'm shaking my head in. I can't believe he's
I'm
gone
sorry.
there again.
I know. I do apologise.
How-
Anyway,
how's the lambskin on your headphones, by the way?
sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Moving on. So we've something else that we've kind of introduced this month with a promotion going on at the moment.
Okay.
And basically what it is if anybody wants to buy the Odyssey, the ARP Odyssey,
Yeah.
so that's not the module version.
That's just the keyboard
that's the
version, isn't
keyboard
it?
version
Yeah.
that we do. You get a free
Free.
getting Andy.
How much is it?
Free.
How many did you get, though?
One.
You're just not making any sense.
It's not actually free.
No,
well, it is
'cause you-
free. You've got to buy the Odyssey.
Yeah.
But if you buy the Odyssey,
Then
you
it is
get
free.
You get
Yeah.
one free. So how cool's that?
That's very, very good.
That's £100 in your
What is-
pocket.
You haven't told them what it is, though.
What?
What you get free.
The SQ1. I
did
did,
you?
didn't I? Did I not?
Yeah, and how many did you get?
Right, I'm going to start this again.
Okay, go over.
Anybody
You
that
buy an Odyssey.
buys an Odyssey this month, and moving forward until until it ends.
Of the
But
month.
starting this month, there is a promotion on anybody that buys an ARP Odyssey, the keyboard version, gets a free
Free.
SQ1
Free.
Okay. We got it.
for free.
But it's not free because you have to buy an Odyssey.
Yeah, but it's what an amazing thing that is.
Amazing added value.
It is very good. It's a great little unit as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've not really used the SQ1, so do you want to maybe tell us a little bit about what that does, Luke?
Yeah, sure. It's a little box, little metal box, which is basically a step sequencer, which you can connect to lots of different things. It actually works really well as like an interface box, really, because it sends out CV, it sends out MIDI. You can plug it in via USB, so you can clock it to your computer. So it's a great little sync box to get all of these different pieces of gear, whether that's analog or digital, all running at the same rate, basically.
There you go.
Yeah,
so
and
there
it's
you
a
go.
sequencer.
And it's free when you buy it with a ARP Odyssey.
It's free.
It's free.
Amazing.
Amazing.
You can't beat it. You
can't.
can't beat it. So that's that. So, I mean, another special announcement, really, is that the microKORG S, the new product that we announced last month, is available
Already.
It's out there.
now. I've got a brief somewhere that said it was November.
Well, it was originally going to be.
It was going to be
It's like
November.
they magically
but
appeared out of
they're-
nowhere.
No, it's
they're
the
here.
boats are getting faster.
They're
That's what
here.
it is.
They're
really
out
bad.
there. Check them out, because I've already seen dealers doing videos and things like that. So you need to go and check these out, because these are awesome.
People were loving it at the weekend, weren't
Yeah.
they?
They were, and
Synthfest.
there were people who already own a microKORG that were looking at thinking, you know what, actually for the extras, it's well worth it.
Because
Yeah.
they love the new voices, they love the extra voices, the amount you've got. So.
Yeah, and again, going back to what we talked about last month, is the fourth bank, the bank D, is blank.
Yes.
And people might say, well, what use is that, may you ask? Obviously, on the original microKORG, it was difficult, because if you create an amazing cool sound, you'd know where to save it. You had to overwrite one of the original presets. And obviously, the microKORG S has a blank bank to put your own in there. So that's pretty cool. So, to recap, we've got a brand new bank of sounds on bank A. Then B and C are the original banks. And then D is the blank bank.
It's a blank bank.
So there we go. So that's another cool thing. So they're available now. Amazing. So go and check those out. So I think we've come to the end of our first segment already.
I think we've earned a drink now.
I think we've earned a
Oh,
drink.
it's flown by.
It has.
It's mad,
There we
isn't it?
go. Wow.
So let's go and have a brew.
Have a boo.
Legacy Collection. Ultimate collection of classic Korg synthesizers. CMT. Analog sounds are realistic, it sounds like hardware. Sound quality so good it could only come from Korg. CMT. Legacy Collection.
Welcome back, part 2, episode 4, the Korg microKAST podcast.
Yes.
Got a brew.
We've
Right,
actually got a brew
I've
this
actually
time,
got a
yeah.
brew.
Yeah.
Well, we're at Korg Towers.
I can't reach mine. I've got a situation. Okay.
Go on,
If there's a
Andy.
thud,
You're all right. If there's
I'm
a
going
thud.
for it. Actually, I'll leave
So
it.
we've actually got next the very popular Kronology
We
section.
have. Yes.
So we set a task for Andy. Well, Andy set himself a task last month, going, I'm going to make a jingle. And you've brought a few,
We've got some options.
got some options, and you need me to riff over the top Chronology or something. do you?
we haven't got chronology
Freestyle.
down yet.
so just got the tune, got the right. No,
yeah,
lovely.
so in your
This is
Scottish
the
accent.
idea stage.
So maybe, people who are listening to the podcast, why don't you just send in your favourite? Well, not send in your, Andy's got a few. If there's any that you like, tell us.
Tweet us.
If you don't like them, tell us that also, because we can take the mick out of Andy then.
yeah.
we've
Or
got-
just ignore you.
We've got 5 minutes. They're about 6 minutes each. Okay. Or 5 tracks. That's
Here we
six
go.
back.
Right. So
Relax.
is this
option
number one?
This is option number one.
Okay.
Okay.
Go
So
for it.
you're gonna riff over this, are you?
Well, I don't know what it is yet.
With your northern accent. Here we go.
Yeah. I like that.
Do you like a bit of that?
Chronology with Luke Edwards. Yeah, what? Chronology.
Okay, so this goes on.
Drum
Okay.
bass
yeah,
part, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna
That's
finish
cool.
that there because we haven't got time to do all those. So the next one, here it comes. Oh, it's a bit sparse. Something's gonna happen any second now. About 4 minutes in, it happens.
You've lost me.
no, I'm
We're gonna skip through.
Oh,
No, nothing
yes.
happens. Oh, it's a bit. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, this is too No, we're going to blow
Too
this one
laid
out.
back.
This
I
is
like
no
it
good.
though.
This is if we ever have to
Kronology jingle.
if we have to put the podcast on hold, we'll use this then.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you for holding.
You can maybe
for
have that in the
board.
background while we're doing the news at the end.
Yeah.
You know, talking about downloads
Yes.
and stuff.
Either that, or if anyone's listening late night, we could do a late night version.
Yeah.
But we're going to skip from
Smooth.
that. So we've got the actual jingle that I was thinking we could use here.
Go on.
This is coming up. This is a bit shorter.
So this is your favourite.
Kind of
Chronology
you
with Luke. That would fit in there. Do that again. Do that one again.
Okay, you ready? We're going again.
Starts a bit Batman.
In a time.
My name's Batman. Chronology.
Does that actually fit over the syllables called chronology?
We're going to go one more time. I think we
I
can
think
get.
this is Andy's favourite. Can you
Okay.
tell?
Sing it.
Chronology. With
Okay, so that's one of the options. We've got two more. We've got to
like
get
that
through
one.
this because
Yeah,
you're
that
running
was
it.
good. That was good.
Because otherwise we'll
Then
never hear
told
about
chronology.
this. What's coming up?
It's nice pan strings.
Do you like the panning?
Yeah.
Bit brass.
Can't hear it because you keep talking. This is a bit Da Vinci Code.
All produced on the Kronos, by the way.
Still on that one.
Goes on.
Right, that's
And
good.
the last one. Hans Zimmer. Rip off. Big time.
This is a bit.
So we can't use that because you've just blatantly admitted that it's Hans Zimmer.
Well, no, it's because it's only got 4 chords throughout the whole thing. So
Yeah, but he rips off holes, so it's fine.
it goes on for like 6
Oh.
minutes, which is why I've paused it there. So,
I like all of them.
okay. Well, I could do a mega
I
mix.
like the first one.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the first one.
And I also
I like the one that we were singing over as well. That's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. There's options there. There could be more to come as well. So there's, but, you
Okay.
know, tweet
Oh, is
in.
this an ongoing thing, is it?
Tell us well, I think this
So-
is just stage 1. This was literally last night when I realised that we were recording today.
Oh, okay.
I had to get on it pretty
That's
quick.
good. You did well.
Yeah, it was only 5 songs. I feel I let myself down, but you know that's fine. But anyway, I think we should
Good
have
production skills.
chronology. So Luke,
Yes. Are you going to give me a lead in with the music?
I'm going to do it. I'm going to obviously.
Now,
I'm,
before you crack on with this, we spoke last time because it's 1981, and you gave us an amazing fact at the end there, didn't you, Andy, about
the DeLorean.
The DeLorean. Did you know that they made some gold DeLoreans?
I did not know that.
Gold.
Yeah. The idea was that they were going to make 100 of them, and they sold 3.
Wow.
No, but bearing in mind that these were
They're actually made of gold.
Yeah, they're like obviously gold plated or whatever,
okay.
but just the cost. I think the DeLorean at the time was £15,000. These things cost something like £80,000 or something at the
Bargain.
time. The DMC-12. As I say, they made the original batch was going to be 100 models, and they made 3. But because they'd sold 3, what they then needed to do is build a complete set of spare parts in case something went wrong, and they had to make it. So when they shut the plant, they basically put all those spare parts together and made one final DeLorean in gold, and that was the last car that they ever made.
That's
Wow.
very cool.
So there you go.
Until now, where they're redoing it, which is so good.
So they're all in America. Well, there's one I think in Ireland, which some guy got, but I think the rest are in museums in Ireland. So they were drivable. Everything about them was fine.
It must have been really heavy.
They were really heavy. They had to adjust the suspension, and because of the spraying techniques when they were making them, all the people that were building them had to wear special uniforms with no zips or buttons or anything like that because they'd scratch really easy.
And they tuned the engines using a baked bean can. So
There you go.
There we go.
That could be your next purchase in GTA, couldn't it, if you can find one?
A DeLorean or a baked bean
I've
can.
already
Whoa.
got one. I've already got one.
Got that.
Got everything.
got need. Yeah.
There's nothing they've done that I don't have. All right, Chronology, you ready? We're going to go for this.
Yeah, let's have the
You
jingle.
ready? Okay.
Chronology with Luke.
Very nice. What an intro. Okay, so this month we're talking about the Korg PolySix. But we all knew that anyway.
We did.
Because we actually spoilt that.
We're no
Spoiler.
less excited, though. This is going to be very
Yeah.
good.
So, as we know, launched in 81, alongside the Monopoly, or Mono/Poly, or Monopoly, depending on your persuasion. And it was actually kind of a milestone in synths because, well, for us anyway, because it was one of the first affordable programmable polysynths. along with actually the Roland Juno 6, which launched in the next year, 1982. The Juno 6 was cheaper, but it crucially had no patch memory. So they added that later with the Juno 60. And also the Juno 6 had DCOs, so digitally controlled oscillators. So it had a bit of a different sound from the PolySix. As we said last time, contemporaries around in that year, a couple of standouts, obviously the Jupiter 8, the TR-808, the Yamaha CS70M, and of course the Oberheim OBXA. So around this time, before the PolySix came out, it was really the Oberheim OBXA or the Prophet 5. They were your kind of polysynths, which were very expensive. So this was quite a milestone, really, as I said. 61 keys. You had one VCO per voice, so you had up to 6-note poly, or you could put it into unison mode to play lead lines or fat bass lines. Had a few waveforms in there, had a saw wave, a square wave with pulse width modulation, and a sub oscillator as well. So with all those things mixed together, you got a really nice.
God, that's going to get thick.
Yeah, it's a
really
really
thick tone.
Notoriously warm kind of synth. 2 envelopes in there, one for the amp, one for the filter, one LFO. There were 3 effects: chorus, phaser, and the ensemble effect was the most famous of them because it provided a really full sound. It had an arpeggiator, but this is the most exciting thing at that time. It had 32 memory presets with cassette backup.
Amazing.
Loving that.
Yeah, so I love that as well. I think it's really cool. It used an SSM 2044 4-pole voltage controlled filter, and that's what gave it its real kind of warm, rounded and organic sound, which actually made it famously warmer and brassier than the Juno. So it was really nice for those pad sounds. It was reissued in the Korg Legacy Collection Analog Edition, and then it was also part of the LAC1 expansion for the Oasis, and of course it was included as an engine in the Kronos in 2011 when that launched. There's also an iPad version, so not only you've got your iWavestation, you've got your MS-20, you've also got a PolySix iPad version as well, but they kind of souped it up, so they added a drum machine, a sequencer, some chaos effects, and this thing called PolyShare, which is really cool. So this is a way for users to share files and share sequences that they've made, all via the app, which is quite cool. And there's also a version of PolySix for Reason as well in Propelhead's rack extension plugin format that came out in 2013. So it's been quite a servant for Korg and a very popular synth.
Excellent.
So notable artists that used it: Eat Static, Jeff Downs, who was in Yes, Astral Projection, Jimmy Tenor, Global Communications, Kitaro, Robert Rich. Then we get to some big names: Keith Emerson, Tears for Fears, Damon Albarn from Blur and Gorillaz, of course, Jean-Michel Jarre, The Kinks, strangely, and Eric Prydz. So
there you go.
That's an eclectic mix for you if you ever saw one.
All the way through the generations.
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing.
So there we go. Do you have an outro, Andy? For
I could play the same song or a bit of one that we've not heard yet, just further down the line, or we could just leave it and move on. It's
let's
up to
just
you.
leave it and move on.
Okay,
Yeah, I
fine.
think we'll jingles for now.
I'll just
What's
turn
next,
this
Luke?
again.
Have you got one for? Because obviously, one thing that you will notice about this podcast is it's a little bit shorter. Because we're up in the ante. We're
are.
not messing about. We're going to do 2 a month now.
2 a month.
It's been so popular.
Yeah, so we're going to have another chronology in another couple of weeks. So do you know what you're doing, Luke? Or?
I have no idea, so we'll find out.
So maybe if you're quick enough, send us some
any
ideas.
requests. Yeah.
Obviously, Korg products. Send us those. But your favourites. So we've done quite a few now.
I'd quite like to do the WaveStation at some point soon.
That'll be there.
We'll get to that one.
Yeah.
What's that, 1991, I think?
Still
91.
It's
So
got a
10
little way
years
to
on.
go, yeah.
Still
Yeah.
MS-2000 for me.
Yeah.
But
We'll get there.
It'll get there one day. So thanks very much to Luke for that. So then we move on to one of the final sections. I just want to quickly talk about some new videos that have been on the Korg YouTube channel. Couple of interesting videos that I've seen. I don't know about you guys, but the first one for me is we've got some Stadium Sounds Part 1 with John Sean.
Oh, John Schoen, yes.
So One Direction, I believe.
Yeah.
Keyboard player.
Great keyboard player.
okay.
Awesome. It's brand new. So
I haven't even watched this yet.
well,
so that's
it's only been on there 23 hours, Luke.
Oh,
so
there we are. I
you
need
know,
to get on it.
You need to get on it.
Yeah.
So, and it says Part 1. So that must mean there's more coming.
Yeah, I think he did quite a long session, so I think they're going to cut it into sections.
There
so,
you go.
yeah.
So check out that. So it's 15 minutes long. So that's excellent.
Wow.
So that's worth a listen. You did some videos about doing any progress on that one yet?
The one with the guy from Human League,
Yes.
wasn't it? Yeah. I think it's being edited. It was quite a long session, so I think they're just deciding which parts to
Right. You need
publish.
to get on that. You need to say, look,
well, I didn't do it.
we've been talking about this on the microKAST, and people
Yeah.
have been saying, where is it?
Yeah. It will happen.
Get on to Ian. Say, look, Ian. I should have asked him before. I've missed
Should
the
have, yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Then the other video, I do hope I'm pronouncing this right, Justin Hurwitz. He's a film composer,
Ooh.
and he
Yeah.
uses the Korg Cross.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I don't know why I sound so surprised there, maybe, but you don't expect that. I always expect,
Well,
film
expect a
producers.
Kronos, really, wouldn't you?
You'd expect a Kronos, but he uses a Cross.
It's
So
a testament to the product, I
yeah.
guess.
Do you know who he is? Do you know who he is? What films he's done?
No, you've got me there.
He did Whiplash.
Okay.
He did La La Land.
Oh, okay.
And
That's
Guy.
the Teletubbies film.
No, Guy and Madeline on a park bench. And do you know what all three films have in common? Well, you don't know the films.
Same
but
same composer.
Whiplash is about a drummer.
Okay.
La La Land is about a jazz piano player.
Okay.
And Guy and Madeline on a park bench is about a trumpet.
That's
So there you
interesting.
go, all
So-
musical
so-
instruments.
Musical theme.
Yeah, he
Okay.
also wrote an episode of The Simpsons,
Oh.
so it's worth checking out. They've
Fantastic.
been, he's renowned. He's had loads of award nominations and things, and he uses a Korg Cross, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
so
very
that's definitely worth checking out. And that's it. I mean, again, I just want to stress about another video. We did mention it in the last podcast, but it is important, and that's about the new iPhone 7 coming out. Earlier in the year, we introduced the plug key, and obviously we've instantly come out with a guide to help people that have bought a plug key that want to buy an iPhone 7 but are thinking about it because what's missing on an iPhone 7?
The headphone
Headphones.
jack.
The headphone jack. What is that about?
Who knows?
Who knows?
They're going in strange directions.
They are. But, each to their own.
Yeah.
They're worth a few quid. So
Yeah.
you don't
Can't really criticise,
You can't
I guess.
really
Yeah.
criticise it, but we'll see. I can't, I don't know why they've thought of getting rid of that, but there we go. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up again. Just in downloads, do you want to fill while I check out the downloads? Do you want to talk about so much while I
Play a few jingles.
Should I play- I can see you looking there.
Andy
Play some more
jingles.
jingles. Here we go. Should we go for the drum and bass one? Should we go a bit more? Oh, right, here we go. This is before something called the drop. I've heard kids use that term. The drop with a D.
There we go. So
Fade. Manual fade.
there you go. Keep it in there. Keep it in there. Just the background there. So, just a few things for this month. We spoke last month about the updates for the Nano Key Studio. So, this month, it's mainly audio stuff really, but there's software updates for Audio Gate and DS DAC 4.0.2. Then we've got the DS DAC 10R, again 4.0.2. The DS DAC 100M, you can see the theme. And then lastly the DS DAC 100. So those are the updates for this month. And I think that pretty much rounds us up.
There we go.
How long have we done?
We have done 33 minutes and 12 seconds.
Wow.
Well, we said half an hour. I think that's pretty
Yeah,
pretty
It's
good.
not bad, is it?
I think that's
Yeah.
pretty awesome. So there we go, guys. So don't forget, you can catch me at Adam Korg UK. You can catch Andy at Andy Korg UK, and you can catch Luke at Korg Luke. So send us tweets, like us, share us, follow us, don't stalk us. But you know what I mean. So yeah, I haven't seen any video, and we normally talk about videos that we've seen on YouTube. I've not really seen anything because it's all come round so quick.
Yeah, we've done this one quite quickly after the last one, haven't
Yeah.
we? So
So I've nothing
Yeah.
really to report. I've let myself down there, I think.
You
I
have.
need to really
I'm
pull out all
disappointed.
stops for the next one and really find some depths of YouTube.
Yeah.
We've waited
videos.
half an hour to find out that you haven't got anything.
I know. I'm
Disappointing.
sorry. I've let
But
you
next
down.
time it's going to be spectacular. You're going to
It
have
is.
twice as many,
yeah.
no
and it's
pressure.
coming sooner.
Well, one thing
Yes.
actually, I want to just quickly mention about the next one, because we spoke at the last one about Korg tuners.
Ah, yes.
And we
did,
were going to
yeah.
mention it this month,
Yeah.
but we've done better than that because we've not mentioned it. But what you'll find is at the next podcast, we've got another special guest to tell us all about Korg
we
tuners.
have, but let's not spoil it.
Let's not spoil it. So tune in. See what I did then?
Oh, lovely.
Cheesy.
So yeah, so check us all out. We've also got the at microKAST Twitter as well. You can check us out there. And we've now got an email address.
An email address and landing page coming soon.
Yes, so it's all happening. Two a month.
It's unbelievable, isn't
We've
it?
got an email address. We've got a website coming.
Are we going to have pictures of us on the landing page?
We're going to have to sign autographs soon.
We have. It'd be just getting crazy, isn't it?
Are they going to be able to Photoshop some hair on me, do you think? Just 'cause-
Just get a wig.
Doubt it.
Okay. Just
Doubt
quickly,
it.
I did see this week, this doesn't really have a great deal to do with it, but there's a cycling helmet you can get, but it makes you look like you've got Lego hair.
I was going to tag you in there actually, but I thought you might get offended.
It's
But
all
I
right.
was actually, because I know the Lego thing. That's
With-
not for the hair thing.
Without exaggerating, 30 people tagged me into that. So,
So he was very
Excellent.
offended by
Yeah.
30 people.
Not
So
at all.
yeah, so
Very excited.
the new email address, if I remember rightly, is microKAST, spelt with a K, MICROKAST, at Korg, KORG of course, .co.uk. Get on it. Send us some emails. Mail us. We will be listening. So thank you very much, and we will see you next time, probably in another couple of weeks for episode 5.
Yeah.
Episode 5 already.
It's
Wow.
mad, isn't it?
Episode 5. It's
Yeah.
Empire, isn't it?
It's Empire.
Oh, it's got to be a big
It's
one.
got to be a
then.
big one.
Yeah, it's got to be a
It's
big
gonna
one.
serious.
Yeah. Well,
Fantastic.
maybe we could do it Empire Strikes Back themed. I can bring me Wampa outfit.
Adam the
I
Wampa.
can't wait to see that.
There you go. Our special guest's not going to know what he's walked into.
Get me Yoda impressions ready.
Oh, here we go.
Episode 5, you will listen to. Yes.
Wow.
No, that's who is it? What's he called? We had this conversation before. The only impression I can do other than a bad Yoda is what's he called?
Alan
Owen
Partridge's
Wilson.
mate.
Oh, yeah.
Owen Wilson.
Owen
Yeah, yeah,
Wilson.
yeah.
He only says one thing on films, and it's wow.
Oh my.
Wow. So everybody can do an Owen Wilson impression. Wow. There you go. So, thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
See you soon.
Bye.